I used to have a real issue turning first dates into second dates. It was very common for me for women to be interested in me in the beginning, but the longer they spent with me, the less their attraction became, the more their attraction faded, and I couldn't figure out why. And there were these 7 things that I was doing that I didn't even know about that were ruining and sabotaging my dating success, my attraction success. And I've uncovered these after studying hundreds of dates of my own and many of my students so I can break these down for you. I've also added in 3 bonus ones at the end, which are extremely powerful. So make sure you stick around to the end to see what they are. Okay, so if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, get involved in the channel. We're here to make men great again. Okay, we want to help men become men they can be proud of, to attract women that they're proud to be with. So let's crack straight into it. Okay, so first one up is don't apologize. Now, don't get me wrong, this is never saying you should never say sorry for anything, but just watch your communication as a little homework assignment. Watch how many times throughout your day you're apologizing for things, for small things. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, my bad. Oh, so sorry. Notice how many times you say the word sorry. And you might just be saying, well, I was just in their way while they were standing in the cafe. Is that a need to apologize for? Because what this almost comes up, if you say sorry a lot, it's almost like you're sorry for existing. Your self-image is so low that it's almost like, sorry, I'm taking up space. Sorry, you have to listen to me. Sorry, you have to spend time with me. Now, no one's logically thinking that, but that's what it communicates when you're always apologizing, when you're always sorry. So cut out the apologies from your speech, especially around women, especially on a date. And then when you actually do apologize for something, it'll have real power because you don't just throw it around everywhere and it's completely lost its meaning. So that's number one. Stop apologizing so much. Number two is don't bitch, whine, or complain. It's very unattractive for women to hang out with a man who's whining and complaining all the time. Oh, it's so nice to finally meet someone. Like, normally people are so unfriendly to me, but I'm glad I finally got a date with you. It's like, what do you think the woman's interpretation of that is? It could be you even complaining about your job. Oh, my boss, he's such an ass. Oh, this sucks. The government sucks. It's so draining to be around those people that are just complaining all the time. So don't bring that onto your date, okay? And normally we complain to people that are kind of lower than us in a way. When I say that, if you look in like a hierarchy situation, we complain to people when we're just kind of fed up with life. We don't complain to the people we should be leading. Leaders don't complain to their followers. You don't see the CEO of a company going to one of his new employees. He's like, it's so tough. Like, I'm not sure if we're going to make enough money this week to pay the employees. You'd be like, what the hell is going on here? It doesn't make any sense. So don't bring that energy towards women, and especially on the dates that you go on. So that's number two. Don't whine and complain. Number three is stop making an identity out of your failures. This is a huge one, and it might be difficult because maybe you've had a long list of failures, a long list of troubles. So it's almost like your identity is created. Oh, I'm not an attractive man. Look at this track record of all the failed dates I've had. When what you need to realize is just because you failed doesn't make you a failure. Be very careful to separate your own core identity self from what happens to you, okay? You are not your job. You are not your money in your bank account. You are not the woman that you date. You're something more than that. And when you become too attached in your identity, oh, look, I suck, I'm a failure, I'm worthless, well, that obviously erodes your self-esteem and it's not very attractive to be around. So stop making an identity out of failure. Learn from failure. Hey, you went on a date, it didn't go well. Awesome. What could I have done better there? Like, where was my communication a little bit lacking? Awesome. I'm going to improve on that next time. So you don't become like this victim and get weighed down by it. So that's number three. Don't make an identity out of failure. Number four, become selfish so you can become generous. This might sound counterintuitive, but you would have heard the example on an aeroplane when the oxygen masks fall down. They say, put your oxygen mask on first before trying to help other people. That's exactly what's going on here. You should enter the dating place almost from a place of overflow. It's like, I'm so happy, I'm so glad with how things are going in my life, and I want to overflow that good vibes and energy onto the people I meet. And women are super attracted to that. They're like, wow, this guy's life's so good. I want to be a part of it. But for a lot of men, and we all start somewhere, it's kind of like maybe the rest of your life is good. You're making decent money, you have decent health, but your dating life's really lacking. You need to be able to fill your own cup up first. You need to be selfish and work on your own happiness instead of trying to get happiness from the woman. Like, oh my gosh, if she likes me, like I'll finally be full. But you're going to her with the sense of lack, the sense of scarcity. Please completely, please fill me up. And it creates like this a bit of a needy, desperate vibe to you that women actually get subtly repulsed by that they don't even know. So make sure to come up with your own stuff. Practice stuff like meditation, practice things like self-compassion, self-love. Be actually in a good mood, have good things going on in your life, and don't be this black hole that's just looking for a woman to make him happy or come to save me, because you'll actually repel women in that process. Number 5, I can handle anything that comes my way. This was something I read in a book a long time ago called Feel the Fear and Don't Do It Anyway. Go check out that book if you haven't read it. But one of the things she says that helps to eliminate fear and anxiety is like, I can handle anything that comes my way. So I'm able to come from a place of groundedness. Most men, like on a date, they're very fidgety and nervous and, oh my gosh, this place was supposed to open till this time, but they're closing at this time. Oh my gosh, it's a disaster. Like their own emotional state and emotional body is like so frantic and panicking. And women want to be with a man who's a rock. Women want to be with a man who's grounded, who's a cauldron, who's unflappable, so that when she gets in his presence, she can relax into her femininity. And that's something the feminine is looking for. But most men are more emotional because they can't handle this. And oh my gosh, she didn't laugh at my joke and I'm 5 minutes late. This is a disaster. You need to calm down, take a breath. Understand, I can handle anything that comes my way. It's such a good confidence building mindset in which to enter a date from or any relationship from. Number 6, she is a guest in my world. I have the strong reality. When I interact with people, I'm bringing them into my reality, which is a good reality, which is a fun reality, which has a lot of value. So when I'm going on a date with a girl, it's not like, oh, like you getting sucked into her world. You can almost feel it like, oh, I'd love to be a part of your world, where the opposite needs to be true, where you have this beautiful kingdom, you have a rich inner life, you have a great social circle, you have a great life going on, and the woman is a guest in your world. So you want to make sure she has a good time and you want to give her a good time, but you're not fumbling over to let me be part of your party. It's like, no, again, you are a guest in my world. Welcome to my kingdom. Let me show you around. Let me show you how amazing it is. Oh, you want to stay here longer? Perfect. You're a guest in my world. These are the boundaries that I have in this kingdom to maintain its order and to maintain its good vibe, versus like oh my gosh, like please will you come here, oh my gosh, can I come to your house? Like, well, what are you doing this weekend? Like, maybe we should hang out later then. It's like you're trying to be in her world all the time, and this also allows you like to lack your boundaries and self-respect because you're just so desperate to be a part of her life, where it's like, no, I'm entering this from a place of fullness. I'm a king who's totally fine and okay being alone in his kingdom, and you're a guest. And it's paradoxical, it's counterintuitive. When you enter dating and relationships from this space, all of a sudden women want to be with you. They want to spend more time with you. Like, I want to be with that guy again. That was such an epic time. But this thirsty, like, please, finally, desperate, is she finally going to like me? That's very repelling energy to women, and that's not going to make your dates go well. Number 7, genuinely don't care. Now, this might sound harsh on the surface. Like, what are you trying to say, Daniel? You're saying don't care about women, women are trash. That's not what not caring is about at all. It's almost a place of non-attachment. They talk about this in Eastern philosophy. When you aren't attached to the outcome of something, you can just let it flow more naturally. Good things are going to happen in your life. Bad things are going to happen in your life. That's part of the human experience. But if you're very attached to the good things and like, oh my gosh, please don't let something bad happen, it creates a lot of suffering. It creates a lot of misery. But when you genuinely don't care, which doesn't mean you don't try, which doesn't mean you don't want a certain outcome, but you're not attached to that outcome, okay? You're playing the game, you're playing basketball, but at the end of the game, win or lose, you had a good time, you shake hands and you move on with your day. It's not saying, I don't want to play anymore, I just don't care. because that's what a lot of men do in the dating space. Like, I don't care. And they throw the ball away and just go sit at home, like, see how much I don't care. But that's detachment, which is different from non-attachment, which is I'm playing the game 100% full out. But at the same time, whatever happens, I'm not going to be majorly affected by it. So this needs to be cultivated over time. How does this operate in other areas of your life? Are you, I made this money, yay, I lost this money, no. It's like practice being non-attached to the outcomes in every area of your life and watch your attractiveness in the eyes of women rise dramatically. Number 8, be honest and authentic. Here's some of the bonus ones. So sometimes you just need to be a little bit more direct. If a woman's doing something that you don't approve of, that you don't appreciate, don't be afraid to tell her. If she's on her phone too much while you're hanging out, call her out on that, like say like, hey, is it emergency? And she's like, no, I'm just texting my friend. It's like, I really appreciate when I'm with people that we aren't on our phones too much. Is that cool? And just something as simple as that, the girl's going to be like, wow, like a man's never said that to me before. And in the moment, she might be a little bit startled, but it's showing I have boundaries. I'm honest. If the girl's talking about something that I don't agree with, I don't have to attack her, but I can just say, oh, that's funny. Like, I actually see things completely different than that. This is how I see it. And she respects that point of view. Okay, I always use like an Andrew Tate example. But if I'm like, I like Andrew Tate, and the girl's like, I think Andrew Tate's an idiot. Or you're like, yeah, he is a bit of an idiot. Or you like honest and direct and saying, oh, that's cool that you think that. I actually think he teaches a lot of good things. Now, again, you don't have to get in these heated debates about it, but at the same time, be honest, authentic, direct in your viewpoints, in what behaviors you tolerate, in the things you appreciate about her, and also the behaviors you don't necessarily appreciate. We teach other people how to treat us. So why not give a good example and help people understand what behaviors we tolerate and appreciate in our company? Number 9, stop giving her credit before she's deserved it. I would say this is probably one of the biggest ones, where just because a woman is beautiful physically, men are just falling over her. It's just the total culture of today. A girl can have nothing going on in her life. She can be a terrible person, but she can post a couple selfies on Instagram in a bikini top, and all these guys are like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, oh my gosh, and they would love to date her because most guys are so desperate and pathetic. So when you go out with a girl, you can appreciate her beauty, you can notice her beauty, but don't give her credit just because she's beautiful. Some girls might work for it in the gym, some girls it might just be pure genetics. Cool, that's got you on the date. This is my mindset towards a girl. Oh, that's got you on the date, but what else do you have about you? What else is interesting about you? A lot of women don't have much to offer besides their sex, but that's enough to win over so many men. If you want to be a high value man, if you want to be attractive, if you want to stand out from the rest of the men that she's dating or seeing, don't be so easily won over by her looks. Focus on if she does have a good personality, and sometimes you need to be willing to walk away from a girl, even if she's beautiful, because you have higher standards. So look to implement that. Okay, into the last 2. Number 10, show her your ethical predator. This is something I talk a lot about in my program, The Brotherhood, with my clients, is that women are attracted to a man's primal nature, that thing that's a bit of a savage. It's a bit of the beauty and the beast paradox. And most men are just in this little box of good boy and they don't say anything outside the line. Sometimes you have to show her your ethical predator. You have to show her that you know how to be a savage when needed, because that communicates a lot of positive things about you. Women's systems are still wired from what was attractive 100,000 years ago, and it wasn't a cool connection and a good sense of humor. It was, can he protect me? Can he survive? Are my chances of survival going to be better with this man or less with this man? And if you're just this politically correct, like nice guy out there, she's not going to see much value in that. Okay, so this can come across in like the topics you talk about. Are you afraid to talk about sex? This comes across in like, are you okay being confrontational, like challenging her a bit, teasing her a little bit, or do you avoid tension at all costs? These are all attributes of the ethical predator, which I go deeper in on another video, but start to bring that part out of you. More of that caveman, woman like that. Don't be afraid to demonstrate that on a date. And final one, And final one, number 12, is don't judge a woman's sexual nature. Now, this one might seem paradoxical because men are like, well, I don't want to be with a woman that's been with like a lot of men. And isn't it bad if a girl's got like a high body count and all this type of stuff? That's almost a different conversation. When you're on a date with the girl and if the date's going well, there's probably an objective of yours to be intimate with her, to have sex with her, to get physical with her. But if you at the same time like judge women, you're very quick to be like, oh, she's such a slut. Like, oh my gosh, look how many men she slept with. Well, you carry that energy around you. It's called a permission field. And women can feel in a man's presence, how big is his permission field? How wild can I let my sexual side of myself out around this man? And when she's around a man that she can tell is closed-minded and judgmental towards women's sexual nature, she'll pretend like she doesn't have that sexual nature. And then you'll get frustrated why she didn't want to come home with you. But when she's with a man that allows her sexual expression, doesn't judge her for it, knows that's part of being a human being, just like you have sexual urges, so does she, all of a sudden she's like, oh, it's safe for me to bring that part out in front of this man. And then she starts to show it more to you. She wants to interact with you from that sexual place, which is obviously a big part of human relating and human connections. Not everything, but a big part of it. Okay, so there you had the 11 key things to not mess up a first date. Let me know in the comments below which one was the one that resonated with you the most and which is the one you battled the most with. And if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We're in a bit of a new location today. Let me know what you think of the location as well. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.